Hello everyone, thank you for turning on the Blue Light. Now the news of the hour is about Dr. Nandipa Makotumana and the crimes that she has committed. The million-dollar question is why Dr. Nandipa Makotumana was not arrested last year in April. Because according to Grounds Up report, it all started last year when Dr. Nandipa Makotumana went to a state morgue and claimed a dead body, stating that it belonged to her father. Now, Dr. Nandipa Makotumana, after being given the body by the state morgue, she took that body and threw it in a river. Now, in the place of that body, Dr. Nandipa Makotumana placed pap and vors inside a coffin and went on to bury it. Now, after a week of this incident, a body was discovered in a river with a state morgue tag. Through this tag, it was then discovered that the very same body was released to Dr. Nandipa Makotumana. If the state knew what Dr. Nandipa Makotumana had done, why didn't they report this to the police? And if they did report this matter to the police, why didn't the police arrest Dr. Nandi Makotumana last year in April for violating a dead body? Now, in the very same month of May, Dr. Nandi Makotumana goes to hospital morgue and claim a dead body, delivering it straight to cell 35 Mangaung prison, burn it beyond recognition, and then this body was believed to be that of Thabo Bester. The Department of Home Affairs goes ahead and releases a statement stating that Thabo Bester had committed suicide in cell 35 Mangaung Correctional Center. The very same month of May again, Dr. Nandi goes to a state morgue in Bloemfontein to claim the very same body, saying that it is that of her customary husband. Now the state morgue obviously releases the body to Dr. Nandipa, which she transported to a mortuary in Soweto. But after realizing that Dr. Nandipa had claimed two more bodies before this, the police had to go and confiscate the body from Dr. Nandi once again. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has happened in the month of May last year. Makotumana approached the North Gauteng High Court in a bid to seek relief against the police in order for her to be allowed to cremate the body. She had claimed to be Bester's customary wife, but it was found that she was still in a civil union with Dr. Mkhuseli Makotumana, per Home Affairs record at that time. Now, Judge Edwin Cameron, the head of the Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services, who also appeared in Parliament, said the police should have ensured that Makotumana was arrested following the lies she had presented to court. Parliament also heard from top police officials that an affidavit submitted by Dr. Nandipa Makotumana herself in the court case had been signed by an officer who had left the police force months earlier. Police officials confirmed to MPs that Makotumana was never questioned despite any unanswered questions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, according to these reports that I've just read out to you from Ground Up, it means that Dr. Nandipa Makotumana was supposed to be arrested last year in April for violating a dead body, and she was also supposed to be arrested last year for lying under oath, providing an affidavit which was based on lies. You know what I mean? Because that affidavit was signed by a police officer who was not a police officer anymore. You know what I mean? So a lot of unanswered questions from Dr. Makotumana's crimes last year, even way before Thabo Bester escaped. Dr. Nandi was supposed to be arrested before the escape of Thabo Bester. So in July 2022, meanwhile, as the battle over the corpses continued between police and Makotumana, police conducted DNA test with Thabo Bester's mother. There was no match. Police said in Parliament that their investigation was stalled by Thabo Bester's mother, who had initially been uncooperative with the police. So when the police are saying that Thabo Bester's mother was uncooperative, what do they mean? Because Thabo Bester's mother agreed to do the DNA test, and she said with the Eyewitness News interview that she did not agree for Dr. Nandipa Makotumana to bury her son. You know what I mean? And then she said again that Dr. Nandi did come to her. She gave her a visit to say Dr. Nandipa was married to Thabo Bester, and her and Thabo Bester have two children. You know what I mean? Could it be that she now started to be uncooperative after the visit from Dr. Nandipa? Did Dr. Nandipa give her some sort of money to bribe her not to cooperate with the police, or what was happening exactly? Do you understand? So there is a lot that has been happening with this case. And then again, remember, I'm giving you this report as well as my own personal opinion of how things worked out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, sometimes whatever is happening, with Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandi, things do not make sense. Things are not adding up, So everybody is trying to speculate. Everybody is trying to find answers as to how and why things had happened the way they've happened. You know what I mean? So, like I'm saying, could it be that Thabo Bester's mother was being uncooperative to the police because of the stress she was going through? You know that this child is yours, and then they're coming back to you to say that the DNA test, the DNA samples does not match to your son. It doesn't make sense. Maybe because of that, then she became uncooperative. We do not know what really transpired. It could be that. It could be this. We don't know. And obviously, because of these uncooperative behaviors from Thabo Bester's mother, the police then doubted, they started saying that maybe Thabo Bester's mother is not who she says she is. You know what I mean? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to Ground Up Report. An autopsy conducted on the unknown body found in cell 35 finds that the deceased, initially thought to be Thabo Bester, had no signs of smoke inhalation but had been murdered. His cause of death was, according to the autopsy, blunt force trauma to the head. Now, Judge Cameron told MPs he alerted SAPS as well as the Department of Correctional Services in August that their investigations found that Thabo Bester did not die in cell 35. Judge Cameron also told MPs police had asked him to keep the matter confidential, but he told MPs he shared some of the information regarding the Bester's escape with non-profit news agency Ground Up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this raises yet another big question, a big fat question. Why was Cameroon asked to keep the matter confidential? Why didn't they act upon this matter in August when he alerted them of what had happened in Cell 35 Mangaung prison? You know what I mean? They did nothing about each and every information that was leading to Thabo Bester's escape. They ignored each and every person that came with a piece of information to let them know what had happened. You know why? Because they are part of the problem. They did nothing about it because the problem is part of who they are. Do you understand where I'm going with this thing? Because if you are part of the problem, you cannot solve that particular problem because you are in it. Do you understand? And the reason why Dr. Nandipa was violating dead bodies, why Dr. Nandipa was just a criminal who's always getting free with crime, is because Dr. Nandipa has money to bribe these people. Do you understand where I'm going with this thing? Because now, if you have money in the eyes of the law, you can never be wrong because money rules the law. You know what I mean? We are ruled by the law. But then the law itself is ruled by money. Now, who runs the world? Of course, money runs the world. You know what I mean? If you ever think that the law will be for you because you are trustworthy, the law will be on your side because you're telling the truth, then you might be wrong. Because according to what we see unfolding with Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandi's saga, the law is money. And if you do not have this money, then you are automatically wrong. You see this thing? Because Dr. Nandi has got the nerve to just take a dead body and then throw it in a river. What did she think was going to happen to that body? Did she really think that body will just sink and not float? Did she really think that that body will not be discovered? She did not care if that body was going to be discovered or not because she knew Uguti, when they find out, she's just going to bribe her way out. And which she did. Do you understand? So she doesn't care what happens because she's got the money. And remember, the reason why Dr. Nandipa claimed the body is because now she wanted to claim insurances, which she did. She made millions of that body. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, you guys, $1 million question after this whole thing still remains. Why did Bheki Cele not address the public about Thabo Bester's escape last year? Because they knew last year, evidence was there to say, look, this man escaped. You know what I mean? And because a prisoner escaping from prison is a danger to society, he was supposed to make us aware so that we remain alert at all the times. But because they do not serve the interest of the public, they serve their own greedy individual interest, they did not feel the need to let us know that there is danger in South Africa. You know what I mean? They decided to let us know in March of something that happened a year ago. If you think the reason why Bheki Cele ran with the story only in March is because of the photo that resurfaced of Thabo Bester, then that's what you think. It is not what I'm thinking. According to me, the reason why Bheki Cele ran with the story of Thabo Bester only in March, after a year of people whistleblowing, of people submitting evidence and all of that, is because you remember the 2 letters that were written in March addressing Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa. These 2 letters are the 2 letters that shook the government to the core. They were running like headless chickens because they did not know what to do about these 2 letters. The first letter was a letter that was written by Thabo Mbeki saying that, guys, why are you as government, why are you quiet about what happened at Phala Farm? Why are you quiet about the money that was found under the mattresses and everything else? You know what I mean? Now, they did not know what to do. They did not know how to answer that. And the second letter, which was written again addressing Cyril Ramaphosa, was written in March this year by the Legacy. They were demanding answers about who deleted AKA from this planet. The Legacy wanted to know. They wrote a letter to Cyril Ramaphosa saying, hey, President, why are you quiet about this? People are dying each and every day, but yet nothing is being done. We demand the answers about who deleted AKA. We want to know what happened. That was a very powerful movement by the Legacy, the Justice for AKA movement. They refused to keep quiet. They were poking the government each and every time, demanding answers. Then Bheki Cele was always on media saying useless things because he did not know how to answer the question. You know what I mean? At first, I did not believe all of the people who were saying somebody who is a mastermind of this particular crime was having a very strong political connections. I am starting to believe it now because only in March, Bheki Cele came out and said, you know what, everybody, Thabo Bester escaped. That was not the question the public was asking. The public was asking, they were asking about who deleted Keenan. Where is the Phala Farm money? How and what is happening? But then the answer we got was Thabo Bester escaped. How do you like that? How one question is being answered by another crime. We are asking about this crime, you're giving us a question of another crime. And that question was supposed to be answered last year. You decide to answer it this year, which is nonsense. Do you understand where I'm going with this thing? Bheki Cele decided to run with the story Thabo Bester simply because he did not know how to answer questions relating to the AKA movement. Because if we can remember that the Legacy was not ready to give up on this Justice for AKA saga. They did not even want to listen to anybody, Len Forbes, who is AKA's mother, tried to say, can we let the police do their job? Can we let the police investigate and all of that? The Legacy was not ready to listen to that. They wanted to know from the police. AKA's father did the same, saying, you know what, let us respect the investigations, let us not disturb the police, let us let them do the work and all of that. The Megasi was not ready to listen to that either. The Megasi wanted answers. They were poking the government. They were shaking the government. But then, you know what? The government decided, oh my God, we don't know what to do. And here is the Thabo Bester story. Let us run with it. And then did they not find the story that will help them get away with this? Because all of a sudden, everybody who was focusing on the justice for AKA decided to drop and focus on the Thabo Bester shenanigans. Yebo, a lot of people, they were blowing the whistle. Justice for AKA, justice for AKA, justice for AKA. We want to know what happened to AKA. But now all of a sudden, Thabo Bester is in the building. Now everybody focus. Because my name is Thabo Bester and I'm bestering. You know what I mean. And to show that this whole thing is all staged. The things that are happening, the informations that are coming out every day of Thabo Bester's story, you can see that it is all scripted. It is all a script. Now, I am not saying Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandi are innocent. I'm not saying they did not commit the crimes. They did. But they were never meant to be caught because they did this last year. You know what I mean? And only this year, then we get to learn about Thabo Bester's escape and all of that. Only because now the Justice for AKA movement is asking questions. But this story was a very good story to shut up the movement for justice for AKA. Now, you guys, I did a part 1 about the cover-up. You can go and listen to that. And then this is a part 2, obviously, and I'm going to do a part 3. I'm not sure when I'm going to release it. But again, I'm saying this is my personal opinion. This is how I see things. Agero when you think the reason why Bekitele ran with the story in March is because of the picture of Thabo Bester that came up. But let me tell you this. That picture was taken last year, July. Last year, July, where was the picture all along? Do you think they did not know about this picture? Of course they did. They ignored it the same way they ignored each and every evidence that was, saying something is happening or something had happened at cell 35. They ignored it. And now they want to come with a story to say, hey, by the way, the Department of Correctional Service made a mistake last year by announcing that Thabo Bester committed suicide. Actually, the guy is alive and the guy ran to Tanzania, and watch us, we are going to catch him. You know what I mean? And he is with Dr. Nandipha Makotumana, and we're going to bring them back with a private jet, and watch us, you know what I mean? And they are going to appear virtually, because that's what they like doing, They like internet so much, so we're going to give them what they love, They're going to appear in court over the internet. You know what I mean? So this is like a slap in the face for the whole country. You know what I mean? But it is meant to be that way because otherwise it is a cover-up. This is my personal opinion. That is what I think of the whole thing that is happening with the shenanigans of Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandipha Makotumana, And if you beg to differ, you can comment and let me know what are your thoughts. Otherwise, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. Thank you for listening.